I'm going to talk about my remix for Kennebec's track Kalahari. Um, just as a way of introduction, the way I met Kennebec was he found one of my tracks on SoundCloud. I believe it was my most recent album, Usawa, and we just started talking. He showed me his music. I was really intrigued by it. I loved in particular, his string and woodwind arrangements, and how he weaved that into the backdrop of electronic tracks. It's just something I do a lot, and I really love kind of, channeling that classical composition in the context of electronic music. So it made me really interested to do a remix for him. I chose Kalahari in particular because I really love the horns. I really love the really long melodic pattern that they were playing, and I wanted to see what it would sound like to generally keep that long melody, but kind of change the energy of the drums and make them higher energy. So a lot of the remix was about trying to figure out how to give it a lot more energy, but still keep the same organic ambiences that you find in the strings and the woodwinds. So yeah, so just here's my arrangement, and really the main difference I would say is just these really hard-hitting drums. And then, just keeping the main string samples still there. In particular, I think another thing that gave it a different energy is I used Ableton's wavetable synth to create some pads. You can hear this one. And then I also created these swells. And really, these are just made from reversed textures that I found in his track. So I found that really inspiring to play with. And then the last kind of major change that I did was I actually changed the timing of the strings, although you might not have been able to tell, but the strings and the woodwinds. So first, one thing I did is I made them kind of pump like that with a lot of heavy compression. But then the other thing that I did that was really significant for how the track turned out was changing So it's kind of complicated to explain quickly, but what I ended up doing is I changed the timing of it to where it fit more neatly into 4/4. Because before, I don't remember exactly, I think it sounded sort of in 6/4, so it had this kind of interesting movement. And I thought it would be interesting to just see what it sounded like if I shifted everything a bit. And so it's a bit different, but I think it fits better with the drums that I did, and it's kind of an interesting new take on the same melody. So it's still the same melody, but it has a really different feel. So that was really fun. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my remix. And yeah, definitely check out all of Kennebec's work if you haven't. His album that he put out is really lovely. It's a really nice listen. Highly recommend it. And yeah, thanks for listening.